Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy VIII with me, Matthew Gaddis, aka Puggy. So now it's time to finally take on Ultimecia, the evil sorceress who lives beyond time but wants to control it for herself, and slaughtered many CDs in order to get her way. So yes, now the thing about Ultimecia is she kind of dresses like 80s Madonna, and she apparently can't use the letter C for some reason. Seriously. Why can't she use the letter C? I do not know. But she uses the letter K, which is weird because, what's weird, well, she doesn't say much, but which is weird because Idea was certainly capable of using the letter C, let's say that. But anyway, that being said, over to Ultimecia. She is following a number of phases in this case. So in this case, I started off with a party that wasn't great, to be honest, but yeah, which didn't have anything, but I'll have to make do with what I have. I don't know why I choose, dare I say it, the generator with Quistis. That is not going to work. Again, your things will still work against her, but let's actually use a much better party that isn't so... Well, I'm not sure. I will go with this because, yeah, why not? AP ammo, any ammo if you have Irvine in our party will probably be good, but the generator does not work on bosses anyway, so yeah. Armor-piercing shot, probably a good move to use against it, as it can actually do 9999 HP damage, especially if you have an aura on your party. Granted, I'm using the limit break cheat here with the party, so yeah. But never mind that. Okay, and seeing Zell just smash Ultimecia like that, seriously, that's insane. Bad breath probably won't work. She doesn't have any sort of weaknesses in that case, but yeah. Also, because I was doing 0 damage, she now starts summoning Griever. Oh yes, Griever, and we'll get to Griever. Oh boy. It actually has an attack called Shockwave Pulsar, which is actually one I think Quistis can learn, but I think I'll move over to Squall for this one, if you know what I mean. To note about Griever is that seemingly what will eventually happen with Ultimecia is that she will join with Griever as well. And goodness, I've gotten a Lionheart off with Squall here, seriously. That will do quite a bit of damage. However, there's a big however, Ultimecia isn't any... or Griever even isn't any slouch either. Seriously, so how did you get Griever? And why can't Squall summon him? Given that this GF is pretty much what was on his on that thing that dare I even say he gave to Renoir and everything. So yeah, and Tornado's not going to do anything with a boss like that, I don't think. Let's see if I'm... No, it actually did a decent amount of damage, which, yeah, not one for using wind attacks, but whatever. Seemingly, even though we're going up against the very sorceress that possessed Renoa earlier, yeah, that actually did some decent damage. Flare, yeah, we'll go with Flare. Zaga actually did some decent damage as well, so yeah. Main reason I'm not using any things there is that... Oh boy, he's using triple. Well, if I get Dispel, that can get rid of that. Rapture is not going to work on the boss, but we might as well see it anyway. Yeah, and apparently it's using wings or something. Well, at least I've got Dispel, so that was actually good timing there. Full Cure is probably a must here, if you know what I mean. Why not? Use Ultima. Use Ultima. Though the worst is yet to come here with the thing. Seriously. I think I didn't want to start summoning GF Eden against this boss, that's why. I went with that. And Wall, yeah, definitely go with that. Why not? Ultima. That brought Raijin and Fujin to their knees there, I say. Why the hell not? Flare again? Yeah, why not? Why not? And then also a Meteor. Yeah, let's try that against Griever. Hell, his head looks like a fucking Bahamut. Not Bahamut. Fucking Behemoth, I was going to say. Not Bahamut. It doesn't look like the Dragon King. If anyone's head looks like Bahamut, it's Tiamat's, but we've already faced him, so... Yeah. Still not gonna do anything, so yeah. Ultima again. Well, at least you can spamming break. I'll be glad for that. Seriously. That at least is good. Double flare, very nice. Yeah, I'll go with wall. Granted, it's now a limit break and not a spell, which wasn't the case in the thing. Okay, could have used the spell, never mind. I don't think I'll need to unless he casts triple on himself, does Griever. But yeah, never mind. And yes, there's Shockwave Pulsar. An attack that isn't as cool looking as Supernova, with the exception of that little lens flare thingy at the end. That was actually quite cool. That could actually kill your party. But in the end, Griever starts exploding, but not before he turns into a ball and gets possessed by Ultimecia. And yes, Ultimecia is now junctioning himself on Griever. This is one of the most weirdest things I've ever seen in a JRPG, even a Final Fantasy game. But yeah, Rapture won't do anything, so Ultima definitely. Let's see if Bahamut can do any damage to this boss. I am not going to show all of the thing here because, to be honest, this took me over an hour to record and everything, so that's the main reason. Seriously. But I will be showing the first 3 phases with Ultimecia because the last bit is kind of not anticlimactic, but kind of scary for me, so I'm going to divide this episode into 2, I think. Especially since how much he did. Apparently he absorbs Holy as well, so does the Ultimecia Griever combo. Seriously, Tombury, what the hell am I thinking? Tombury will not work against this guy, seriously. Yeah. And why not? I'm spamming Ultima. Why not? That thing's OP anyway, so why not? It's considered forbidden magic, but whatever. Slowing him down won't do anything. Certainly not. I'm gonna have to resort to using thing. Meteor, yeah. I haven't actually used Meltdown on that boss. I wonder why not. That would be interesting, at least, if I did use Thundaga still does some decent damage. Flare, however, doesn't. Yeah, seriously. Imagine Thundaga, a 30th Thunder spell, probably the most powerful Thunder spell. He's doing more damage than a Fire spell, and Firaga even does more than Flare. What the hell, game? What the hell? It does still some damage, but Griever, yeah. Even Angelo Rush is doing more damage than the thing, but I think Holy's actually healing it, which isn't great at all. Seriously, what is wrong with you, game? I'm just healing Griever, what the hell? Finally, I use Meltdown. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. And Ultima right after it! Okay, that's... Okay, you have redeemed yourself there, Rinoa, for being floating in space for most of Disc 3, seriously. And then finally, Griever explodes and loses its back legs for some insane reason. Let's continue then with Griever. Absolutely. Rapture, no. Anything else? No, I'm not doing any damage now to Griever at all, seriously. Meteor! Get out of here, man. I don't think I'll be doing much damage with that. It looks like it's just flailing in Medeiros Griever, seriously. Well, in that case, let's put her out of her misery with a bit of a Renzo Kukin. How about that? No, it's still flailing about his Ultimecia. Griever, whatever. Kind of weird without the thing there, but whatever. Okay, with Meltdown in play, it at least does some damage, so... Yay. Man, that looked badass as hell, and it still doesn't finish it off. Nope, I'm gonna have to leave it to both Selfie and Renoa here, seriously. Finally, Griever explodes for a second time, and indeed it takes the whole place with it, seriously. Oh well, I'll see you on the next one when we get to the third phase of... No, it's actually the fourth phase of Ultimecia, and it's really weird, so I'll see you then. Goodbye!